Hey everyone, it is Tempest from Target Fixation and Gaming, that is, and the new Remedy to This podcast. So tonight we're doing something, I don't want to say special because it's not super special, but it's a way for us to get out there what we haven't been able to get and to participate in discussions and things like that on other social media platforms because of being, I guess, just our posts get held. We have a small following, and because we do only games from like one developer, so it makes it kind of difficult for us to, have a big reach. And we got our posts held pretty often. So what I'm going to do before we talk about anything, real big, and during this, I guess, live during this stream. Throughout this, I'll be taking breaks to kind of go through some of our posts that have been being held or only shown to a small group of people. X does that. And I think, honestly, all of them do it. So I'm going to go ahead and cycle through some of these. You won't be able to hear me. I'm going to go silent, and I'll just cycle through some of them. All right, so you can see a lot of those are, well, all of them are X posts, and none of them are really being seen, and we want to participate in the discussions and in the theories and theory crafting, and we're just having the most difficult time with that. So we're going to just talk a little bit tonight about, well, I want to talk definitely about the posts, about the thoughts and theories, and about the origins of, I guess, control and the hiss and what I think that we're missing in terms of, I guess, what I've never heard before. Now, I don't, Jay and I both don't watch content from other creators just to keep our thoughts and theories clean and free of influence. Because it's fun that way. It's fun to get different perspectives from people who, or just from anyone who might have a differing opinion. And obviously, we understand that there are some content creators out there that do hold the same opinion, or that there's content creators out there that may hear ours and regurgitate that. So it does tend to happen on X when we do get our stuff posted. So we started having to watermark things and just kind of monitor things and, you know, but yeah, this is an old story that I tell almost almost every stream we do these kind of things. So last night I was playing Alan Wake. We're doing anything we can that's Remedy related, and yeah, we think that we're getting. I think all of us are feeling it, getting close to a release date, and yeah, so we just want to kind of go over everything we can before that happens, which again I think is going to happen really soon. I'm guessing about the same time as Control, the first Control came out, about, I guess it was August, sometime in August maybe. So that's my personal thought. So anyway, we did prepare a screen that's actually just more for informational purposes. I'll go ahead and put that up now for a moment so you can kind of take note of how you can find us in our information, our podcasts, and when, and all that good stuff. I hope that was helpful. So, yeah, you can catch our podcast, which is new, and it's all dedicated to Remedy games and any discussions and theory crafting and anything that anyone wants to participate in. We'll probably be doing not live all the time, but live at least maybe once or twice a month. So that way we can, again, it's about building community, it's about participating, and we just want to be able to have discussions and, you know, just kind of, get in and all the hype. So anyway, Jay is not with me tonight. I apologize. Okay, so that last picture there, that was, of course, referencing some of us have speculation that there's going to be some elements of quantum break involved in this. And we brought this up, oh gosh, a while ago. That post, actually, I don't think we did that post. I think we did that in our first podcast, which would have been, I guess, last Sunday. But we have made references, excuse me, to the idea that Quantum Break, or the events of Quantum Break, even though Microsoft owns the rights to Quantum Break still, that Remedy has still been able to, or at least managed to work some things into the, I guess, the story, the Remedy connected universe. So we just kind of want to, I guess, like go over some of that. And I just want to let you know ahead of time, we may not be able to see the chat in Twitch. Or at least we, meaning me, might not be able to see the chat in Twitch. But I'm just gonna, hang out tonight, sort of, for a little while, as long as I can manage. And unfortunately, Jay has sustained a minor injury and will need to have a minor surgery. So I kind of want to talk about as much as I can before, all of that. We have Easter off from our podcast, but might go ahead and talk about some of that stuff sooner because of the circumstances. But other than that, I think it's the 12th. not this coming Sunday, but the next, I think is when I think we're going to be able to get like an actual podcast with the both of us. I'm sorry. And I'll see how that goes. Yeah, because it's getting really exciting. I am shooting on over to X right now just to see if word got out that we're doing this podcast right now, and I don't think that it's gone out. Like I said, they're holding our stuff. You can tell when you get like say several thousand views on a post, and then you make one that's just as good or better, and it's only seen by like one person or a few people, or maybe over the course of several days you might get up to 1,000, and it's just something they do. They'll release to a few people at a time, and then if it they view it, then they might release it to a few more, and it's just a game, and it's a sick stupid game. I'm done playing it. So yeah, I'll go ahead and put a note, hopefully on something that would be visible, because it'd be lovely to have, someone in here. And I'll see what, maybe made it out. And we'll go through, actually what I'll do right now is I'll go ahead and I'll put up the information about our, what we're doing and when. I did this earlier, and there's no harm doing it again because, why not? We want that information out there so we can, continue our efforts towards building community and, being part of this wonderful, Remedy fans are great. We love being Remedy fans and we love talking to other Remedy fans. So I'll go ahead and put that up while I kind of see if I can get something moving on X. And it is possible, though, that we missed some of our primary audience. We, gosh, we have a lot of, I guess, because of the time that we post things and the times that we go live and times that we are on X when we get seen is usually, well, I guess kind of like more people on the other side of the world. We're in America, of course, and yeah, we have a lot of viewers from other countries. And like I said, I think it's because of the times that we do our stuff, so which is fine. Um, but anyway, yeah, we'd love to see some people in here and have some chat. I really, really would love to save some of the chat that we have, or some of the material that we have prepared for when we get, you know, a couple people in here. Twitch, like I said, it's having a hard time being able to see Twitch, but we can see YouTube. So that's, unfortunately, that's just how it is for our setup right now. But yeah, so anyway, we're just gonna, let's see. I guess what we can do too is we can talk about like what the posts are about. So um, let's take a look. Yeah, so the I'll Come Back for You um, from Quantum Break. That's, yeah, obviously the idea is that, you know, Sheriff Breaker, which was, you know, we could consider was, well, I guess the actor in Time Breaker and Jack Joyce in Quantum Break, also connected to Beth Wilder, who also is Jesse. That's a thing that's going to be an ongoing theme. That even though, like I said, Remedy doesn't own the rights to that anymore, um, you know, it's very possible that they're still going to find a way to continue that theme that this character, we'll just say Sheriff Breaker, is still traveling through realities and time and, you know, all that good stuff and trying to find her. But he is like on Alan Wake 2 when Alan finds, you know, Tim Breaker. He's always alone. He's always alone in some room or a gazebo or something like that. Or Alan's used up and discarded New York, you know, Nightmare New York. He's always there alone with a light, of course. You know, he's got to be safe. And, you know, he just, it's kind of, I guess, unspoken. It's not, it just doesn't get talked about. We don't know what happens to him, but, you know, we know that if they stick with, you know, I guess the character, you know, the idea of the character from Quantum Break, that, you know, he could end up being, perhaps being Dylan. He says that on his crazy board in Alan Wake 2 that he comes to, you know, different realities, and he has a, you know, when he does, he wakes up and he's a different person and he's, you know, different. I think the song in the Heroes Tango says there's a thousand faces, you know, so he's a different person all the time. He might not be, you know, Dylan the sibling. He could be Dylan, you know, something else, you know, a friend or a different relationship to Jesse, and, you know, who knows. So because we don't know much about him in Control, you know, much about his background, we hear some interviews like when he's a kid, and, you know, that's about it. You know, a couple interviews and a little bit of background information and documents, and really that's all. The way he was treated, um, and that's it really. So um, let's see, where are we at here? We'll talk about the next one. What's the next one here? The Doors. Actually, let's go to the Monica Bellucci one. Excuse me. That is something that we posted that, unfortunately, I mean, it was so random, but unfortunately, again, since we're so small, it was picked up by a larger channel that reposted it as their own and got significantly more views. Actually, I think that this one might have actually even been held for a little bit, but we still managed to get it out there. You know, X finally released it, but it was kind of too late. And it did happen a couple times. I don't think it was from the same account, but we did do a video kind of explaining that, you know, because it's a little bit disheartening to, you know, come up with an idea, especially a very, very random one like this Monica Bellucci dream. You know, Twin Peaks fans understand, but it was so random. And this show came on several years ago, and I mean, within a matter of, I don't know how many hours it was after we posted ours, somebody posted, you know, one of their own, and it's kind of sucks. But let's see. So that was the Monica Bellucci. And that was in reference to Remedy games in, you know, basically Dream Logic and Who's the Dreamer. And Dr. Darling does say that on his in his, like, when he comes on the TV in Alan Wake 2, he does talk about Who's the Dreamer, or asks that. So I'm going to go ahead and you're not going to hear me for a sec. I'm going to go ahead and show another one, and just for the context, and then we'll talk about it. So if you notice that in Control, Jessie, she always reaches over and kind of like rubs her right shoulder as if she maybe has had an injury or something, but it's like, well, we never see her having an injury, and she does this from the very beginning of the game. So as part of her animation cycle, now I had heard that it was something that she just did, you know, on her own during filming, and they just kept it. But it turns out that Dylan does the same thing, but just on the other side, on the left shoulder. And we did a side by side video of them doing it exactly at the same time. That one, fortunately, it was released. Thank you, X, for something. And it did get a lot of views, so we were able to kind of connect with people on that, and get some feedback and other ideas, and, you know, people threw out there, and that was great. So that just shows, though, that particular picture shows that when she was Beth Wilder, and the name Beth is on Sheriff Breaker's crazy board, but it does show that when she is Beth Wilder, she does, at the end of the game, get shot in the right shoulder. And so it kind of like is the echo that she's talking about, you know, in Timebreaker. She talks about echoes of something that happened, something that, you know, they're feeling that happened in another lifetime or reality or whatever. So we think that that's probably it, this like residual, you know, feeling from, you know, or echo. So that's what that's all about. Let's see, what do we have next? We have doors. Let me go ahead and put it up. Yeah, we really didn't get a chance to talk about that one in our last, I guess, podcast. We didn't really get a chance to talk about it much, and it's too bad. We did get some other pictures of that, though, so that way you could see, like, that what we spotted was that there are several doors that way, and they all have a set of stairs that go down into, you know, the ground, or like a basement or cellar or something, and where there's a door at the end of the stairs. So let me go ahead and show that picture. As you can see, one of them is actually at the late show with Mr. Door, that building there in Alan's Nightmare, New York. So we thought that was kind of cool. that's just right there. So we don't know if it means anything. Excuse me. But I kind of would be surprised if it doesn't. So all these things, we're not really, we would definitely not be surprised if they don't have some kind of appearance in Control Resonant. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see, let's go over. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show this one here again. It's going to go silent for a moment. So again, that's showing Sheriff Breaker and Dylan sort of going through the same thing. They're isolated, they're alone, and we have no idea what's going to happen to them. And it's unfortunate that it seems like we don't talk about Sheriff Breaker as much as maybe we need to, but he seems to be stuck and isolated and alone, just like Dylan. And we're thinking there might be some type of connection. There's definitely that similarity, what they're both going through. Let's see this next one. Oh, I gotta kind of skip this next one, I think. But here's one that we posted today that we really love that X is holding. And we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and show it right now. So Twin Peaks fans will know right away that that has to do a lot with the Black Lodge, and that Arish it looks to me like a picture of Arish from the lake house, and that there may be a little corruption going on there. So Arish is someone that I sort of have my suspicions about. He, I guess you can say, he's lied to Jesse a lot, and maybe not a lot, but enough to make you kind of go, I wonder what's up with him. So yeah, so we're gonna, that was our kind of revelation. It was funny because I just turned on. I have a smart TV and I turned it on, not yesterday morning, but the morning before. I turned it on and I put it on YouTube, and that video actually showed up. It was a video of Audrey's dance, and that was the cover with the her at the Great Northern with that picture carved into the wall with the red circle. So that was pretty cool. That it just kind of came to me coincidentally. So, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But let's see what else we have. I know that we had done a thing. I don't know if it made it in here because I had so many that I was going through, but there's one where Jesse's standing in front of Dylan, and he's corrupted by. It's when he's corrupted by the hiss, and then there's another in I guess it's North Star, the DLC for Alan Wake 2, and he's corrupted by coffee. Jesse's standing in front of him, like almost the same sort of shot, except for he's not in a containment cell. So anyway, those are just some of the things that we've been posting that have been held by X, and we want to get them out because we want the discussion, and we want to have the ability to have our voices be heard like everyone else, and be part of things. So let us know what you think. What I'm going to go ahead and do, because there's another major part to this, and I really want to talk about it because I'm not sure, again, with Jay's injury, like when we're going to be able to do another podcast together. I mean, I'm assuming we'll still be able to be on schedule because the treatment and surgery is really, I believe, very minor, but I don't know how he's going to be feeling. I don't want to push him into anything. So I was hoping maybe just talk about it tonight, though I don't think there's anyone watching. Usually people tend to watch like the following day and or here pretty soon, like usually like 3 or 4 in the morning. I think people on the East Coast may be tuning in at that point. So I might go ahead and end this one and then pick back up with the, I guess, remaining information that we want to get out before they announce a release date, if possible. So, anyway, I am very sorry about that long pause. We will take that out in the VOD and on YouTube and Twitch, but mostly YouTube. That's where a lot of that's where our podcasts are going to get placed on the. We have a separate channel for our podcast, which is in the Be Right Back screen that I put up a couple of times. So the information's there, and we'll do that every Sunday, with the exception of holidays at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So anyway, thanks again, and we will, well, I guess I will possibly be back on here pretty soon. Thanks.